Well, hi, it's another week and we need to give another video summary. This is chapter 17 and it's managing communication. So two questions are given for us to tackle. And the first one says, explain or discuss the process of communication. Include a discussion about the significance or importance of communication by managers in the workplace. Explain the importance of formal and informal communication and the impact they have in an organization. So basically, when we talked about communication, so communication is the process of sending and receiving messages between individuals and groups. It involves a sender, which is the person, relaying the information. It involves the message itself. It involves a communications channel. It is the medium through which the message is being tendered. It also involves a receiver. A receiver is the person, receiving the information. We have also feedback. So communication can only be completed when there is a feedback. So communication will not exist. It will exist, but then it's not going to be smooth, or it's not going to be recognized as a effective communication when there is no feedback. So feedback, let me give you a classical example. Like here we're communicating, right? I am the sender. I'm giving the message. I'm sending an information through a channel we call video recording. So I'm recording my video, send it to you right now. You are the receiver. You receive the information, you listen to it, and then interpret it, and then give me feedback whether the video was clear, whether the video was having some lapses, whether the message that I conveyed was not so essential. But then if the video is good or something, that is true that you give me mark. You mark it. You give like give certain grades or something to tell me, okay, the video was good or the video was not up to standard. That is generally what is communication. And then communication exists in a certain way that sometimes it's destroyed. Sometimes there are certain issues that that hinders the communication, and then that is what we call a noise. So the noise is the barrier to communication. It's not only about what people are saying, on the background. It's also about miscommunication. It's about misunderstanding. It's about most of the times that we can also have that cultural misunderstanding, because communication is not only about formal. It's not all about verbal communication. We also have non-verbal, that is giving signs or expressions. Now, when we're communicating and then you give me like a peace sign, something like this, in certain cultures, they might interpret it as it is an insult or something. So that is a noise that at a particular time, that is a noise. This peace sign that if I misunderstand it, that is a noise at a particular time. Doesn't necessarily mean that people are, you're talking and then there is music going on. That is also a noise because it's going to hinder communication. The communication is not going to be translated effectively. The same thing is when we are also engaging in non-verbal communication, and then you give a voice sign and I don't understand it. If I don't understand it, that is a noise that is going to hinder our communication. So this process, that is the communication process, is essential for the smooth operation of any organization, as it ensures that tasks are clearly understood and completed, efficiently, effectively as well. So in the workplace, especially from a managerial perspective, communication is much more than just passing along, instructions. It's also about building a relationship. It's about setting expectation. It's also about motivating employees. Resolving conflicts, and fostering a positive work environment. When communication is clear and consistent, the team perform better and are more aligned with organizational goals. So the other one says as well, it explains the importance of formal and informal communication. So managers use both formal and informal channels of communication. Now, formal communication includes structured formats like emails, like meetings, like reports, like policies or something. That is, those are things, these are necessary for document information, important informations. They are documented. You have they are put on paper, and then this is going to create accountability, and maintaining as well, professionalism. In contracts, when we have in informal communication happens through casual conversations, like, and also quick check-ins, like go to your office and then check how you're doing or something, or even social interactions, go in a debate or something, engage in chats or something. As even in school, we see, like, lecturer and student, you know engagement, or this one, conversation. Sometimes not only about even class, or even lectures. Sometimes you discuss about personal issues, something that is going to build that bond, that's going to build that social cohesiveness, that's going to build that rapport, that's going to also build, it's going to boost the morale and often allow issues, to surface, early. Both types of communication play a critical role, however. However, it is not, if it is not managed properly, formal communication can bring rigid and distant, because, like, formal is not flexible. It can bring rigid and as well distance, causing havoc in the workplace. And then as well, informal communication can lead to, misunderstandings, or the spread of rumors, as we even, so sometimes this goes back in class, as we certain times just engaging with the person, like, we have like budget cuts in schools now. If you go to the president and then say we are going to, cut certain programs or something, you just go and then conclude and then give out the information without even, because that the president doesn't tell you that it is we're going to cut this specifically. You just go there and make a conclusion, so it's going to bring about, rumor and all of that. So that is generally what it is. So the second one says, explain the importance of non-verbal communication. What role does this play in the communication process? How might a manager utilize this to become effective in communicating? So non-verbal communication. The non-verbal communication here, it refers to the message conveyed without words. It can be through gestures, it can be through, body language, it can be through facial expressions, it can be through the tone of your voice, eye contact as well, and even silence. You keep quiet, and it means, you keep silence, because it says if you stay silent, it means you agree or something. As that is it. It's also communication. Even silence itself is even communicating. You communicating that you are not in the mood or something. Silence is also a very, important, communication tool. You know, but non-verbal communication, plays a powerful role in how message are delivered and perceived. Often non-verbal clues, reveal more about the person's true feelings or intention that spoken words do. Because if you sit at a corner being frown or something, people automatically know that you're angry. If you're feeling a bit lazy, or a bit, not feeling active, people know that you are sick or something. So that is non-verbal. You're communicating. You're giving message. It's not only about, telling people you're sick or something, but then even about how you portray yourself, how you are, how you sit, how you look at people, how you listen. All of those things are, part of communication. For managers, being aware of non-verbal communication is crucial. It's very important. A manager's body language can either, reinforce their message or contradict it, entirely. For example, when providing feedback with, cross arms, you're giving terms, or avoiding even eye contact, which I cannot do. I don't know how I'm going to be a good manager, but you can develop it, because eye contact is very, very important. So if you are conveying an information and you don't give eye contact, people necessarily don't understand what you are saying, and then it makes you to be unheard, or it makes you to be undervalued, or even the verbal message is if even the verbal message is positive, people will tend to say, okay, you don't have that confidence, because certain times it is culture that prevent people to do that. Certain cultures don't allow people to be looking at the elderly, or you speaking with a particular person and you just stare them in the eye or something like that. So that is it. But then you need to manage it. You need to at least a bit, understand how you're going to, reinforce, that message by, making eye contact, because eye contact is very, very essential. And furthermore, reading the non-verbal cues, of others allow managers to detect, dissatisfaction. If I am not satisfied, you understand based on my gestures. If I am confused, you also understand how I even look at you, how I even stand back and then check. It means also that this person doesn't understand what I'm saying, or even if I disagree, or is not and even if we are disengaging in a particular earlier, you understand what it is. So this can lead to timely intervention, because nonverbal is very essential. You engage, and then better team support, because you know what is happening right now. The best, because the message that is a very that message is conveyed effectively. You understand what this person is into right now, because you can fake words, but in the actions you cannot fake it. See, it is nature. It reveals itself. You cannot hide it. You cannot just fake it. You can fake your words, but then your emotions, or the things that you agree to, you cannot hide it, because normally it reveals itself. So ultimately, non-verbal communication helps managers become more, empathetic. They became more, attentive, and because they know what is going on. They feel sick or something, they know, and effective in their roles, as well. So that is it. So non-verbal communication is very important, because it's like sending words. It's giving information without speaking, through your body language or something. So if managers understand it, and they understand that this person is not feeling like this person, that you make certain moves, or you make certain support to at least help to elevate your employees. That's it. So those are the two questions that are given. The first one is just a general concept of what communication is all about, and then it has, well, what is informal, what is formal, informal, which is doing minute papers, and then informal, which is the casual conversation, and then the second one was talking about non-verbal communication, which is the communication without using words, that is through expression, gestures, body language, facial expression, tone, eye contact, silence, and all of that. So that is what is needed of me to do in this video. Thank you so much. See you next week for the last video, that is chapter 19. Right, thank you.